All right, what's going on, everybody? But before I start, I want to share Connect Explainer 2-minute video so you guys got just a glimpse on what's going to happen here tonight because we do have a special guest tonight, two of them actually. So we're going to start it off by, giving you just a sneak peek of kind of what Connect Explainer is, and this is what I love to share. If you're new, take a listen, take a look.
You've had even the slightest success in the world of direct sales, network marketing, or other sales experience, listen very carefully to this message because skipping over it could be one of the biggest mistakes you'll ever make. Something massive is happening right now that most people are totally unaware of. Something so big, it recently eclipsed the growth of the internet itself. I'm talking about the revolution known as blockchain. Bill Gates said blockchain is the most important invention since the internet itself. It will change the way we think about money, business, and the world. Blockchain is already solving problems that used to seem impossible, such as helping to reverse the devastating effects of deforestation, providing a new way for people to pay for groceries in countries where there's little trust in a government-backed bank, giving life-saving sources of clean water to those living in third world countries, and a long list of other incredible ways this decentralized technology is making the world a better place for all of us. Perhaps the most exciting thing about blockchain is how few people truly understand what it is, which is precisely what makes right now the perfect time for you to become a blockchain expert early. So you can go out and share these world changing solutions with others before everyone else catches up. And in doing so, you can also earn generous commissions. Introducing Connect. Connect is anything but your typical affiliate marketing program, unlike anything you've ever seen. When you join Connect, you're joining a group of early pioneers, as together you'll learn about, then share these amazing blockchain solutions to a real world problem. The earlier you join, the better position you'll be for success. Don't let this incredible opportunity pass you by. Become one of our early members in this rapidly expanding community right now, and you'll receive all the personal mentorship you would need to succeed, even if you know absolutely nothing about blockchain. You'll also get unrestricted access to our video training academy, where you can learn all about these life-changing blockchain projects. And you'll get the opportunity to earn significant, generous commissions as you share these projects with others. Don't miss out. Get with the person who sent you this video right now.
All right. So what's up, everybody? I wanted you guys to see that because that's something that I almost watch every single day just to be more in tune on what's going on. So my name is Brian Rhodes. I have the pleasure to have my sponsor and my mentor, Billy Womack, on tonight. And we have the CEO of Rev, Paul. I hope I say it right, but Mikel. Did I say it right, Paul?
I'll answer to anything.
All
But
right.
it's pronounced, I tell people it's pronounced Michael, but my parents obviously didn't know how to spell Michael correctly. So as soon as they pass, I told my parents that I'm changing it.
I got some funny stories of buddies that parents wrote the wrong names on birth certificates. But so one thing I want to share. So what they said in that 2-minute explainer about personal mentorship, this company has went above and beyond to be there for us at least 4 times a week on different Zooms on Tuesdays and Thursdays. I love that. Then the personal mentorship from Billy, and then just what you see in the community, and then having the CEOs of different brands come on for us. So having Billy, which is, I mean, we got 8 years working in the blockchain. He's helped launch numerous different brands into the billions of dollars. So, one thing, if you don't know about Billy, just ask somebody. Literally, he goes by Billy Notes. He's got multiple different podcasts. He's worked with professional athletes, celebrities all over the world, just teaching them about blockchain and help more people. He's probably going to create more millionaires in Vegas than it's hilarious. I don't want to go that far, but we're just really excited to have Billy on, and I'm gonna let Billy go ahead and introduce Paul. But Billy, thanks for always being here. Thanks for helping, and thanks for being a part of this, because I'm excited to hear from Paul, because this is the last night we'll get the Rev nodes at this price, everybody. So just know that, listen to this, soak it in. We're going to get this replay out to everybody as fast as possible. So we'll be short and sweet and get right to it. So thanks, Billy, for hosting tonight and getting this out to everybody.
Well, thank you. Thank you. Tonight, guys, I wore my hat backwards. You know why? Well, we about to bring the heat. We about to bring the heat. This CEO, Paul, is no joke. I'll tell you what, he should have did a different role in his life called stand-up comedian, because this guy's got more jokes than half the comedians here in Vegas, I promise you. But you know what that means is he's so comfortable about what we do. He knows it inside and out that he can make light of anything because the guy's brilliant. You're talking about a guy that's been an entrepreneur for over 30 years. He's co-founded a company that's done billions of dollars. And we're very, very honored to have him tonight. Just like Brian, let me take a back step real quick. You guys know me, you guys know my story. I'm not going to get into my story tonight, but Brian, I'm very proud of this young man. He came on about 45 days ago, give or take. He rolled up his sleeve. He was part of a couple rug pulls and part of a couple Ponzi things. And when he came and got on the phone with me, Dimitri put me on the phone with him. He said, man, we're just looking for something that's going to be here next week, next month, next year, that I can feel comfortable bringing my family, my friends in, and we all win together. And I told him, I said, the day that you plant your flag, the day you strike it in the post, and I'm going to be here 100%. I'm going to ride or die with this guy. I said, your business will explode. Remember that conversation, Brian? And the day that he did that, of course, he was already doing well prior to that. But once he did that, said, listen, there's an old foretell, or what's that called? A story about the pirates when they get to the island, they burn their ships and said, we're gonna make it. Or maybe it's I don't remember who it was, but somebody burnt their ships. I remember that part in the history class. And they burnt there's something Paul would laugh about. I know that somebody was burning some ships and they're like, we ain't leaving until we get this. And that's kind of what Brian's done. He's really kind of sunk in, and now we're very proud of him. He's one of the fastest growing legs of business, not just on my team, but in the whole company. When you can make over $45,000 in your first 45 days, averaging $1,000 a day, guys, all he's done is put in some sweat equity. This has nothing to do with his nodes, has nothing to do with anything else. He's code. He's got 3 or 4 kids, maybe 5 more on the way. I can't keep up with him, but I mean, he's doing a lot of stuff going on, but he's making things happen. And I'm very proud of this young man, and his sponsor D is killing it. I think D's on here tonight too. And
Billy, though, you're a little
my business personally didn't really start exploding until people started following me on my Instagram, and they started seeing me flying around on private jets and having the expensive car. You don't need all that stuff, but that's when my business really kind of went to that next level, where I started getting like these $100,000, $500,000, $2 million note orders. When people saw that I was making the kind of money I was making, millions and millions and millions of dollars, they're like, all right, what are you doing? And, and Brian was joking just a little bit about Vegas and what we have to offer. I've got over 75 people here in Vegas that own over 50 nodes or more. So it's going to be a really, really exciting. And a lot of those are Switch and Galvin and some of these earlier blockchains that we've had online for a couple of years. So, we've done the math that these things only go to a nickel, which is not hard. The last one we took to 84 cents. And when these only go to a nickel, that means I've created over 75 millionaires in Vegas. And then by the end of this year, that's pretty freaking strong. I don't want to clap on the back. Has nothing to do with me. Has everything to do with you. And the reason I say it has everything to do with you, because you are the ones that are getting on these calls. You are the ones making that decision. It's one thing that we bring you this information, but if you don't do anything with the information we give you, it's not any good. You can get on these Zooms all you want to, but until you make that decision to really support these blockchains like Paul's, what Paul's about to tell you guys is super. I'm so super excited about this. And yeah, I'm excited about Switch. I think this is my Switch hat. I can't tell which hat I have on. Nope, this is Connect. But I'm super excited about all of them, but I'm really super about this one because we kind of get to stick it to the big guys. We kind of get to stick it to the corporate guys and put the power back in the hands of the people. And that's what blockchain is all about. Is it's about taking the power away from, just like Grow's taking the power away from the Kellogg's and he's putting it back in the hands of the farmers. Well, Paul's going to explain what he's doing here. This guy's been an entrepreneur for over 25, 30 years, co-founded a $1 billion company called Snap with Tony. You guys got to hear from Tony last week or the week before. He's at one point he was selling like $5 million and $10 million a week in gold. I mean, this guy is a true entrepreneur, and he is leading the way for us with Rally. Rev. Oh my goodness, I said a dirty word. Sorry about that. Oh my God, he's gonna
No. I like that one too.
He's out now. He's out. But we got to spend some time together in Kauai and really kind of map out what's about to happen. And I'll tell you guys, I am super stoked about this. So without further ado, I'm going to turn it over to my good buddy Paul and kind of let him break down some stuff. And then what we're going to do at the end of that, we're just going to ask a couple questions. I know personally I have 1 or 2 questions for him that he wants to share. But guys, this is one of the most exciting things out there. And without further ado, Paul, I'm going to turn it over to you and let you kind of do your thing.
Awesome, man. I appreciate you so much. It was funny. I didn't know who Billy was. First of all, I didn't know what blockchain was, about how many ever days. I heard Brian say, or Billy say about blockchain. And I've been business partners with Tony off and on for probably close to 25 years. And there's not much that he touched that doesn't turn good. And so he started talking about blockchain about, I think in October. He's like, let's go out to F1 and I want you to go to this meeting at this guy named Wright's house. And he spells his name WRIGHT. And I'm like, I don't understand what you're talking about. Like, I didn't understand blockchain. I didn't understand. I mean, I tell people all the time. I was talking to one of the guys with Nerd, the development part of the company, and they talked about algebra. And I said, listen, when I do public speaking, he goes, it's just an algebra problem. And I go, well, I'm the last one you want to talk to about an algebra problem, because I failed Algebra 1 as a freshman. And then I loved it so much, I decided to fail it again as a senior. And so, I had friends of mine that were brilliant. I've been around smart people. I'm adopted, so I didn't get any of my parents' smart blood. But my parents graduated high school my mom graduated high school in 3 years, college in 3 years. I was, my dad was a computer genius. I was destined to be, a Burger King middle manager. And I don't think that's bad, but that's not really why I wanted to be. And then I started out waiting tables in a country club, and I met a guy when I was 23 that goes, listen, if you're willing to shut your mouth, which was real hard for me, and listen to other people and start paying attention to successful people and using the principles that they have, he goes, sooner or later, you're going to be able to take this disruptive attitude you have, and you're going to be able to use it for good. Because I was disruptive. I was that kid that was always making jokes. I was a kid that was always cracking things. I have a saying a long time ago that I used: if you're not going to be pretty in the face or skinny in the waist, you better be funny and make a lot of money, because you're going to be very lonely if you don't. And so I started when he talked about the gold business, I don't know if any of you remember, about 12 years ago, gold prices skyrocketed. People started getting rid of, different things they had in their home. And I owned pawn shops. I owned jewelry stores. At the time, I owned a mortgage company as well. But I started seeing something where I could disrupt. And people were taking stuff, putting it in an envelope. I don't know if you remember the company called Cash for Gold. People would take their gold, put it in an envelope, send it off to people, and then hope that they were going to get money back. And I'm like, that's the dumbest thing I've ever seen in my whole life. Like, people don't know what they're doing. So I started an in-home gold party company. We were doing $5 to $10 million a week, but I disrupted something, and it kind of stuck with me at that point. And Tony and I got into the delivery business, kind of like Uber Eats and DoorDash. And then about 8 months ago, I was bored, which is not a good thing for me. We had built a $1 billion company in less than 24 months. We had a $10 billion company, but my part of the company was doing about $10 billion. We'd hired a CEO to take over. I was bored. And boredom is not a good thing for me, which is why I don't live in Vegas. Because if I get bored and I live in Vegas and you give me too much money, it's going to be a problem. It's like, I watch Billy's Instagram and I'm like, God, I can't wait to go hang out with Billy. He looks like the most fun person on earth. But I said I can't until we get this thing where it needs to be. But so about 8 months ago, I said, what is the next thing that I can disrupt in a good way? Because my mentor also taught me, if you find a big solution to a big problem, you get a big paycheck. And then Tony, after I put it together, because I am the disruptive one in our group. I'm the one that makes trouble with my business partners when I get bored. And so I just went off and I started developing an app. And the reason why I did that is because I rode around in a lot of Ubers. I travel a lot. I'm in the back of Ubers. I started talking to drivers and I was like, listen, that thing came back to me. If you find a big solution to a big problem, you get a big paycheck. And I wasn't thinking about blockchain. I didn't understand it. I still barely do. But what I do understand is I don't need to know how my microwave works. I just know it works. I don't need to understand how the car works. I just know it works. I don't need to know how a phone works. It's like, so I started understanding that, like 20 years ago, 30 years, 40, whenever my grandparents were last alive, if I'd have gone to my grandparents and said, hey, you know what, how you told me not to get in the car with a stranger? And they said, yeah, but someday you're going to have a piece of metal and plastic and everything else put together where you're going to push a button and call a stranger to come pick you up. But that's what we do on a daily basis. So I would be in the back of these cars and I'm chatty and I talk to the drivers and I'm like, so do you like being a driver? And I'd ask them, like, what do you like about being a driver? And they would say, oh, I like the time. I like the freedom. I like to be able to spend, turn the app off when I want to. I like to have freedom. But the next thing I would always ask them is, what do you hate about it? And the reason why Revo, and Revo stands for revolution, the reason why we started it is because I started asking questions. And the first question I asked, like, what do you hate? And they're like, we hate how much we get paid. Get in the back of an Uber, talk to somebody that's a driver. And the first thing they'll tell you is, I hate how much I get paid. The next thing we went to was blockchain, and I still didn't know anything about blockchain. I just got in the plane and the jet and went out to Utah. I took a ride from Sundance at 5:30 in the morning to the airport, took an hour ride. I asked the driver how much money they made on that ride after I knew I was getting charged $263. That driver was only making $95. And I'm like, I know I'm on the right track. I poured more money into it. I kept building the app out. And I started talking to these drivers. And it's like, these drivers are the ones that do the work, right? They're the ones that are the face of the company. They're the ones that are out doing everything, but they have high commission fees, wear and tear on their car. They get deactivated without cause. So what happened was these companies that are technology companies, they're not people companies, they're technology companies, and they have to deal with people accidentally. I wanted to start a company that was a people first company, that technology boosted everything. So we started putting it together. We built the app. It's actually it's active right now, but I wouldn't go do it. I'm going to show you how to do it at the end here. But we started talking and Tony came to me and he goes, we need to put this on the blockchain. And I'm like, I don't care where you put it, as long as we do the right thing by people. And he started explaining to me, most of you on here tonight probably know 10 times more about blockchain than I do, but I do know this. I started introducing to people to the other projects before ours even came along. And Casey Nelson, if you get a chance to work in the company, I just introduced a few people. And a few months later, I was like, I should probably look at my account. And after introducing a few people, because they got excited, they bought some notes, I had $17,000 sitting in an account and I didn't know how it got there. I was like, holy mackerel. Like, this is something that, then I started looking into blockchain. And so what we did is we put this together, and I'm going to run through it very quickly. But Revo combines cutting edge blockchain technology with an action-based reward system that can create long-term residual income on a global scale. Our core values are centered on bringing value to our clients, drivers, and referral partners. And so I started looking at this and realizing that this is how we get big. Like, the other products are amazing. When you have Grow, where you can trace your food, when they started talking about, wouldn't you like to see where your food came from? And I'm like, I really don't want to know where my food come from, because it comes from Taco Bell and I know whatever came from behind it ain't good. But it started making me go, you know what, I could be healthier. But I looked at that and I'm like, listen, someday they're going to get that to be revenue based. Then I looked at, some of the other projects, and even today, Billy was kind of schooling me and explaining to me how Switch works. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like, that thing is even more revenue producing than I thought it was. But when I brought in this company, I didn't bring it and I didn't start it because of blockchain. I started it because I know that Uber and Lyft do 25 million plus rides a day on a daily basis. I know what the drivers get paid. I know what the clients pay. I know every aspect of it because I've seen it up and down. I have probably done more rides as an Uber driver and a Lyft driver in the last 6 months than some people that do it full time, because I did the research. I don't believe in doing anything and having other people did it. When I owned a delivery company, Tony and I went out and delivered. Tony went out one time and delivered in his Maserati. He didn't get a tip. Guess what? He never delivered in that Maserati again. But we started thinking, we know the business is inside and out, but I looked at this going, man, this is a revenue income producing product with or without the blockchain. But with the blockchain, it becomes nitrous oxide. A lot of us were out at the F1 thing in Vegas last in October. I've never been around something like that. But the fuel that they put in those cars is what I look at blockchain. I look at Rev as kind of the F1 car, but I look at blockchain as something that will like just light this thing up bigger than anything I've ever seen. And so I'll tell you how it kind of works very quick. And I don't want to take a lot of your time. I appreciate them inviting me on, but there's two aspects to our company, to our business when it comes to the ride share. Now, the saying I use every single time, and I want to get people to understand it and use it, is people will go, how does the pay plan work? How does this work? How does that work? And I always tell them, listen, all I know is our clients will pay less, our drivers will make more, and every time someone does a ride, someone gets a reward. And I didn't even mean for that to rhyme at all when I first said it, but it makes sense, right? Our clients pay less, our drivers make more, and every time somebody does a ride, someone gets a reward. So what happens is our customers choose. Now, the customer is going to choose every single time flat rate pricing. Now, there's two aspects. There's our referral program, and then there's our mileage part of it. Now, just keep in mind, even with the stuff that I'm about to talk to you combined, our drivers are going to make more, our clients pay less, and there's rewards given out. So a client will choose, they'll pay either $5 per ride, they'll pay $30 a month. Like if somebody does more than $6 or 5 rides in a month, 6 rides in a month, there goes my algebra math again. You got to have 6. If they do more than 6 rides in a month, wouldn't it make sense for them to do an unlimited pass? They pay $30 a month. They don't have to pay that $5 ever again for that month. Or they pay $250 a year. Now they're saving $110 over that. Now, every ride, there's a mileage fee because some rides take longer than others. Some sides, there's, more demand, more surge pricing. There's all these analytical things and algorithm things, which you don't have to worry. I'm not the one putting them together. We have a lot of people that are way smarter than me. But what happens is the driver is going to keep everything but $1 of that mileage fee, which is automatically going to make it so our drivers are making 25 to 30% more than what they are where they're at. And so guess what? We're going to get a lot of those drivers. This is going to take a little bit of time to get it going. We're already doing rides in West Palm Beach County. We're doing them down in Miami a little bit. We've opened up New Orleans. In the next 2 weeks, I've got, I think, 8 cities that we're going to open up. And we're going to open up on a reservation basis. Billy actually just talked to me about opening up Vegas in a very, very short amount of time. We have over 20,000, I think it is now, clients and riders that have signed up. And before we ever even did a ride, because the demand and the excitement is there. So what happens is, on top of that, there's a residual bonus that goes out to people. So I'll just show you kind of this. On a standard ride, like if Billy introduced me to the company, and I'll show you how it works at the end, you'll have a referral code. You send that out. Once you send them out the referral code and they download the app, they're tied to you forever. So if I do a ride, say Billy introduces me. Billy lives out in Vegas. I live out here in Florida. He sends me my link. I get started. I do a ride. If I choose the $5, Billy's going to make 20% every single time I pay that $5. So he's going to make $1. That's an affiliate, a referral program. These other businesses, some of them have referral programs, but it's like you got to do it on a Tuesday. It's all kinds of like things that go into it, and it's a one-time payment. We pay this every single time somebody does a ride. If they choose $30 a month, we take 20% off of that. So they pay $6. Billy would get $6 every single month if I paid the $30. Or on the annual pass, I'd pay $250 a year. I don't have to pay the, $30 a month. I don't have to pay the $5 fee. I'm going to save $110 a year on that monthly fee. All I'm going to pay at that point is the mileage fee. And that everything but $1 of that is going to go to the driver. So we want to make it so the more people are committed to us, the more they stay with us, the more they're going to save. Now, we take that $1 that I told you out of the mileage, that goes into our referral program. So now, if Billy says, hey, Paul, I know you need to make a little extra money because you and Tony like to spend too much, I go out and I do a couple of rides. Every time I do a ride, Billy's going to make 20% of that dollar. He's going to make 20 cents. That doesn't sound like a lot, but the average driver does 15 to 20 rides a day. Let's say that driver only does 10. I only do, I'm average. I haven't been through enough motivational seminars. I don't get out of bed. I only do 10 rides a day. Every day that I do 10 rides, if Billy's the one that introduced me, he doesn't have to qualify for it. He doesn't have to pay anything. He's going to make $2. If I do 10 rides a day at 20 cents, he's going to make $2. I have some people that have already brought over 250 to 300 drivers in personally. I had a guy that did a contest in the last month who brought in over 150 drivers in less than 30 days. We did a March Madness contest. He introduced over 150 drivers. Now, are all those drivers ever going to do anything? Who knows? But if a few of them do, he's going to make a residual income. Now, a driver right now, if you don't know how the business works, drivers only get paid when they drive. If a driver doesn't get in a car tomorrow morning and go drive, they're not going to get paid. But what if a driver, and I have to put the disclaimers in, there's only examples, no guarantees of income. I make sure that I let people know some of you will never do anything. Some of you do a lot. We opened at Miami. I had drivers calling me up going, where are my rides? And I said, listen, I'm not spending $100 million in advertising on a yearly basis like some of these other companies do. You can't turn on TV without seeing the name Uber. You can't watch the Super Bowl without seeing DoorDash. That's not where our money goes. Our money goes to the people that help us build the business. Just like with the Node program, our money goes out to people on a daily basis. We take 60% of every dollar that comes in and we pay that back out to the field in the form of commissions, overrides, and bonuses. So what happens is, say you get 1,000 people over the next year. Say it takes a year. You passively do this. You get 1,000 clients that are paying that $5. I'm sorry, you're making $1 off of. They pay $5. You make 20%. You make $1. That's $1,000 passive residual income on a monthly basis. How many of us I heard him talking about Ponzi schemes, and there's other companies out there that. How many of us have ever sold soap and shampoo and diet pills to people that didn't have any hair? Like Tony was never a good product person for that. Like we have to push people to do things. Like this is not something you have to push them to do. All we're doing is taking people that are already doing this, and there's 25 million of them plus on a daily basis that are doing this, and switching them over to something better. What if you had 1,000 clients that paid $30 a month? You made $6. That's $6,000 on a monthly basis. What if you had 3,000? Say that's for the next 2 years. We're going to go global in a very short amount of time. This is a program that we built from the beginning to handle, to be able to go overseas in a very short amount of time, to go into Canada quickly. Once we get the US up and running, we can go overseas. And one of the reasons why we're so excited about it is because with the Rev token that we're going to have, we'll be able to go into different countries with currency without having to deal with their currency. And I'm not going to get into all how it works with the rewards and stuff like that. But I'll tell you this, if you look right here at this bottom one down here, if you had 1,000 drivers, and let's say they did it 15 trips in a day, that's 15,000 trips on a daily basis. Now, if you've got all those 1,000 drivers, I mean, you're exponentially making a lot, you're doing a lot more, but you're not doing it. Now, if they made 15,000 trips in a day times 365 days a year at 20 cents, that's real residual income of $3,000 a day. And it may sound crazy, but guess what? The reason why these big companies don't do something like this is because they want all that money to come into them. Like they run extremely high on the way they do things. Like Tony and I've always built companies where we made it so that our people made more of the money, because that's where you make people happy. If you look at some of these other companies, Uber, I read a report the other day, has 33,000 employees that they pay an average of $77,000 a month in salary to. I promise you that will never happen with our company because we don't need to. When you use the power of the network with the nodes and things of that nature, it's crazy, So we actually pay even more out. When I said we pay 60%, this is the affiliate program here. Now, some people go out and start building teams. They start getting paid deeper levels. It's never based on how much somebody buys or somebody does. It's only based on, what they do. If they start growing, they start building this as a business, that's real money that's coming in. This has nothing to do with the node part of it. I'm going to let Billy and them handle that kind of stuff. This is a real true business that we built this to stand alone on its own. I built this whole thing, put it all together, spent over close to $1 million of my own money now, building the apps, putting all the background together without even thinking about blockchain, which makes me more excited because it has so seamlessly fit in. And it's like whenever things become like Revo is the first and only rideshare program utilizing blockchain technology and an action-based reward system. Every time a ride is completed, our action-based reward system issue rewards in the form of tokens to Revo clients, drivers, and referral partners. And on top of that, node owners. They're going to be the ones that do that. And in the first year, from what I understand, there's 50 billion tokens that will be over the life of this thing. And in the first year, 25 billion of them go out. So I've always talked about being in the right place at the right time. I've been in a couple of places that were at the right place at the right time. And what these guys, and that's why I have so much respect for someone like Billy and Tomas and the guys that were here in the beginning. To watch guys like me walk in now, I've had that happen in other companies. I'm like, screw these guys. Like, they don't know what it was like to go through it when at the beginning. They don't understand how it was hard, how people told me I was crazy, how blockchain was stupid. I would have been one of those guys a year ago because I didn't understand crypto. I didn't understand blockchain. But the more I've understood it, the more I understand that this is going to be something that every single business is going to utilize within them without even understanding how or why they're doing it. So I don't want to take much more time. I'm going to show you just one real quick thing. I told Billy I would maybe show how you get registered with our company, how things work. Let me share this real quick. Am I taking too long, Billy?
No, you're good to go. You're good to
All
go.
right,
We got plenty of time.
All right, awesome. So I'm going to just show you, like we have our Revo, our portal. What happens is, and you'll be able to do this, make sure that you get with the person that invited you on. Billy can get you kind of started. But what happens is, and it's on our app. This is all built into our app. So when you go into the app, you'll end up having an affiliate portal. You'll have your own link back here where you can take that QR code, you can send it out to somebody. And the way the program works, and I'm getting more in depth about explaining this to people, we don't own Apple and we don't own Android. So right now we don't have it so that we can embed your referral code into the app. If somebody just goes straight to our app, they download the app, we don't know where they came from and we can't track them. Now we're working on ways to do that. My guys are spending a lot of my money and a lot of time trying to figure out how to embed it into Apple, and they think they figured out a couple of different ways. But we're still going to have to, you have a code right here. You can take your copy, you can put it in, you can send it in a link, you can send it in an email. What happens is once you have that, they'll be that all your information will be in here. They'll fill this out. Once they fill this out, they will verify their email. Then they'll go to the App Store. Let me see if I can find it in my text.
Actually, what happens right when they fill that out, you're right on the right page there, Paul. Right when they fill that out, they're going to have their own referral link right there where it's copy right there. That is your own
they'll have that right there.
Yep.
And then what you have them do is you have them go to the Android store, to the Apple store. And what will happen at that point is they will be able to download the app, and everything they do from that time on will be linked to you. Because there's those three little lines at the top on your app. They'll have there's an affiliate portal. You can go in there. You can run everything out of here. This is exactly what you see in your back office. This doesn't have anything to do with Connect. This is a whole separate program. But we call it independent business owners. You'll be able to look. I mean, I should get to work. This is a dummy account, and I'm the dummy that doesn't have anybody in here. But it kind of shows you can go in and see, when you had orders done. I can go up here, I can go to marketing tools. We have our pay plan in there. We have a marketing official, like we have videos that are already put together so that you can send them out to people. Then all you do is attach your link. And this is an additional income source outside of what's going on with the nodes and everything else. Compensation. We have a network. So you can go through, I can go through and I can see how many people I have on one level. Now, with this one, this is my real program. I just haven't done any rides. I haven't got anybody going in my area. I've actually blocked out a lot of the information on mine. But I can go and see my direct people that I've got in. 12,748, 89 direct referrals. 89 direct referrals led to over 12,000 people. And that's not everything that's in the company. So it tracks it for you. People get paid out. Drivers get paid out on a daily basis through the app. Our customers get paid out. This will go through and show every thing that happens within your team and what's going on. We have a place you can actually go get merchandise. You can buy rideshare stuff. I'm gonna have to get Billy a new hat because I can't stand him wearing Connect. Just kidding. We have training videos. We have
I do love it because every brand gives me different hats.
Of course they do.
My deal,
so we have, we have different videos. I do every Tuesday morning. I did 10 o'clock. I do an overview where people get on. They find out. They bring drivers on, then customers on there. We have a couple hundred people on that. On Thursday evenings, I do it again. So we have different videos in here. You can have settings. So, I mean, it's a very simple system, but it just shows you that like there's such a need, there's such a desire, there's such a want for what we have going on. And when you tie it in with the blockchain, and I will tell you this, we were tonight, I don't want to spill the beans unless you want me to, Billy, but
no, go ahead.
As of tonight, we were supposed to stop the pricing. I would get it. I can't guarantee it's going to happen. We may be able to extend it a day or so. We're working on it because I brought a whole company over and we hadn't gotten everything integrated. So Tony and I were talking right before the call. We may have another day or so on this, but I would get those as quickly as possible on the nodes before the pricing starts going up. But we've been working really hard to get everything online so that the reward system will start paying out. I go out to Utah next week. We have a ceremony to launch our blockchain. Our rewards go online and start paying out and start being issued out to node owners and people that are doing rides and people that are, and everything with us for the rewards, you only do it. We only get rewards if a ride is done. Now we'll be rewarding drivers when they get a tip. If a driver gets a tip, we're going to give them more rewards. Guess what that does? Makes the drivers want to do better. If the customer gets a 5-star rating because they were a good customer and they tipped, they get more rewards, but it's only based on an action. It's only based on a revenue-based action, which every time a ride's done, there's actual revenue that's based on it. I know for a fact in my heart of hearts that once the world gets a load of what's going on with Revo, this thing is going to go sky high. The rewards that are going to be paid out are going to start going fast and furious because the amount of transactions that we're going to have going through on a daily basis. But on May 29th, so on the 9th, I'm going out there. On May 29th, we will start issuing rewards through our deal. And there is nobody in the company that knows what I just told you. I had just had a meeting with the guys with Nerd, the developers today, and we set this thing in stone that on the 29th, we will start putting out rewards. So I won't take any more of your time. I appreciate you giving me a couple minutes. I'm excited about this if you can't tell, but I'm usually excited about anything I do, and I don't go in halfway. I go in all the way. So if you ever need me to do calls, talk to people, I'm excited to help you any way I can.
So thank you. I know everybody here thanks you. I know we got up to 100 people on this right now. We're going to answer some questions. One of the things that he was just talking about, I want to emphasize for you guys, is when Paul talks about, I don't really know blockchain. What I want you guys to understand is the brands run the brand. That's what Paul's responsible for. His job is not the blockchain. That's why we have blockchain partnerships, right? That's why we have the DAO that runs the nodes, that run the distribution. So Paul's job is not to run the node situation or the blockchain side of things. So that's why he's partnered up with us. They're a real company, just like all of our brands. None of our brands, and a lot of people hit me up, when's this brand gonna do this? When's the exchanges? I said, the brands have nothing to do with getting onto exchanges. That's all community driven. So we have a certain group of people, me included, on that committee that helps get these on exchanges, that helps do a lot of stuff. So the brands can focus on what the brands do best. They run businesses. They build billion-dollar brands. That's what we want them focused on. So Paul doesn't have to learn blockchain. He's going to, obviously, by default, and we're going to teach him as he goes. But a lot of these guys, when they come into us, when we launched Gala Games, Eric Schumeyer, who was the co-founder of MySpace and partners in the other company, what was it called? Zynga, that did $9 billion in 4 years, whatever it was, with Facebook. They had no idea what what blockchain was, how it really worked. Maybe they heard of it. They didn't know how it worked. They came to us. So it was also all of our code, all of our software that built Gala Games. So all of our brands, when we build these things out, we're the ones that handle the blockchain side of stuff, just like the nodes. Paul will tell you about the nodes, but he'll also defer that to people like me or other team leaders, to Moss and Tony and some of these other guys that are kind of the top 5 guys that kind of launch all of these brands. And it's our job to bring it to you guys. So I'm going to tell you guys, if you guys have not got a Rev node, hopefully it changes. I know, and I don't know if Paul knows this, but Paul knows he's in the same group. There's about 12 of us in a group that decides a lot of this stuff. And one of the people were telling me that, I'm not sure if I could share this or not, but I'm going to share it just because we're sharing.
I tell people, if you don't want a secret kept, don't tell me. If you want a secret kept, don't tell me, because I'm going to tell.
Well, here's what I do know. When they do go up, I know this particular brand, they're going to go up a minimum $500. That's what I do know. I'll leave it at that. So I know that they're going to go up at least $500, whether it's midnight tonight or it's in 2 or 3 days. It is going to jump at least $500. That's what I do know. I don't know if it's going to be at midnight tonight or if we're going to get a couple extra days like we're talking about. But I do know, I didn't know if it was going to double in price, if it's going up 40, 50%. But now we do have confirmation. As of right now, it's going to go up a minimum $500 to $600 in the next 2 or 3 days. That's what we do know. So if you haven't gotten a node, then now is the time. Go online, get them taken care of, buy these things. I know that I've got probably 20 of these things, I think is what I got, something like that. I don't know exactly how many I have. That adds to my 600 plus nodes I have in my portfolio. And it's just growing. So as these new products come out, I always add. And I want to show you guys, this is the possibility. So I'm going to show you what grow. I'm going to use this as a similarity.
Billy, I hate to do this. I have another call I got to jump on. Do you need me for anything else?
No, go ahead, buddy. I got you.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much for having me.
All right. So guys, I'm going to show you something real quick with Grow. Grow just started distribution. Where am I at here? Here it is, I think. Yep. Brian, can you see my screen?
Yep. Yes.
Okay. So I'm going to give you a similarity with Grow. Grow just started distribution January the 5th. So Grow distribution started January 5th. I bought 100 nodes on that one. You'll see my daily distribution is 288,000 rewards per day. It's knocked out almost 30 million tokens just in the last, what's that, 90 days? What January? Let's say January 5th. So what month is this? I don't even know. Geez. May, June, whatever it is. It's been a couple months. So right here, and now right here, if you take that 288,000 rewards per day, Brian, you've got a calculator, I don't. Put in 288,000. What was it? 288,672.
Okay.
And then times that by 04161.
4-1. You're looking at 12,000?
$12,000 a day. My Grow accounts are paying me. So, so what, and maybe you don't, obviously a lot of people can't afford 100 Grow or 100, whatever nodes. Let me go back here. Where am I at? There it is right there. So what that means, for every one node that you have of Grow, you're getting 2,000, because I've got 100 of them divided by 100. I got 2,886 rewards per day. So even at that point, the numbers really are very, very attractive. Now, obviously, there's not a lot of liquidity pools for this right now, so you can't cash these out. That will be happening over the next couple months. The liquidity pools will be on a lot of these, including the ones that we're talking about. So you guys have already seen my accounts. You guys know kind of are seeing how this all works. You buy the software node. For the new people on here right now, you buy your software nodes. I'll just do a quick overview. Right now, these rewards or these nodes, you go right here to buy nodes. Run a little slow. Oh, that's the promo. Oh, I hit the wrong button. That it? That's it. Here we go. Buy nodes.
No, that's a nice looking back office.
Yeah. I see Raphael. He's like, yeah, go back there. Let's see the real juice. So these nodes right now, Rev, are $2,500. So you would just simply go in here, click how many you want. If you want to buy them with, obviously there's no discount on those, but you'd say, I want to buy it with a credit card. Boom, credit card. If you want to take some of your win distribution, USDT. Eventually, I'm not sure if I've ever told you guys this, but eventually you're going to be able to either pay with credit card or just the win token. So USDT, USDC, you'll have to convert that over to win. And then all of these nodes, that's a major utility that we will be implementing over here. And
Nice.
update. And we're always updating stuff in the back office. So we understand when you started on Facebook umpteen years ago, whenever that was, it was pretty much just a bland scenario. Oh, by the way, since we mentioned Facebook, I'll give you guys another little insider information thing. You know, it's funny. I was talking to somebody today. I think it was Patrick. Patrick, I think's on here. He said, you said, I don't know who it was today. I've talked to so many people today. They said, you said something the other day when you're on your meds, and I caught a glimpse of it. And here's what you said. I'm like, oh, shoot, I gave away some secrets. But I will tell you this, that we will be going toe to toe with every major industry out there within our reigns. Meaning right now we're going toe to toe with Uber. We've already got toe to toe with gaming, banking, gold and precious metals, medical. We're going to be having an accounting one. We'll have our legal one, just like prepaid legal, called Blockade, that's coming out. Imagine owning a software node, creating a digital reward, and then you can use them for your legal services. Whatever your legal situation that you're going through. We are building that as we speak. We've been building that for, golly, the matter of fact that when you see these nodes for sale in the back office, that means we've been building that brand for at least 6 months to a year and a half. And we've got a lot of money invested in those things. So we've got one for that. Imagine buying a software node for a travel company, which we've been working on for now quite some time. You buy that node, creates that digital reward, and you can use those digital rewards for 5-star hotel resorts around the world. We're working on that. I'm actually in the middle of helping setting all of that up right now. We've done a couple Zooms in the last month on that one, getting that one set up. But every industry you can imagine, we're here to disrupt the power of these corporate giants and put them back in the hands of the people so we can all win together. Everything out there is moving forward towards digital rewards. Like Brian said earlier, I've been doing this full time for 8 years. If you guys are new and you don't know who I am, I'm very fortunate that I started making Bitcoin at $200. I had 2 rug pulls my earliest career about 8.5 years ago. I met a guy. I was in Reykjavik, Iceland a week later, learning how to make Bitcoin, that we were the 5th largest mining operation in the world. Did a couple $2 billion of mining of Bitcoin. That mentor, the next couple months, I was on his private jet. In 13 months, 13 countries on his jet, learning blockchain, watching him speak on stage. I left there. He introduced me to his mentor, which is the guy that created this whole platform, right? That was 7.5 years ago. We locked arms. I was living in Tampa, Florida at the time. And he said, listen, I'm going to build this thing. I'm looking for some key people. Would you like to be in the room? Would you like to lock arms? And at that point, he wasn't a multi-billionaire like he was right now, but he was worth hundreds of millions of dollars. And I tell people it's kind of crazy how fast things turn and how fast we grow. And because when I started working with him, I wasn't a multi-millionaire like I am now. I think I had just sold one of my businesses. One of my other businesses was going through a bad situation. I think when I first got into blockchain, I had less than $5,000 in my bank account. I started there, and it was funny. I was talking to somebody yesterday on the phone. They're like, yeah, it's easy for you to say you have all these nodes. I said, but I didn't start with 650 nodes. I started with $15,000 4 years ago. And it wasn't that I didn't have more money at that time because I came away from a different company. I was saving. Here's what happened. Wright told me to be in Vegas, June of 2019. I still remember the date. We had a big house here, part of the Rat Pack, and Tomas was there. I was there. John T was there. Jake was there. There was, I think, 30 of us there, and I brought 3 or 4 friends with me there. And they're like, we just don't get it. I think we're going to pass. And it was funny because that guy just called me 3 days ago. He said, Billy, we own one of the biggest manufacturing companies here in Vegas. We're now going to, in the pharmacy world, we want to accept crypto. We have a telemedicine platform and we want to accept crypto. Can you help me? I said, you know, the funny part about that? That CEO of that manufacturing company that does billions of dollars, I took him to the meeting. I introduced him to Wright. He sat there and he said, I just don't get it. Good luck with you guys. He's calling me 4 years later. He said, Billy, I wish I would have listened to you now. I could have threw 20 grand, 50 grand in that, and not even thought about it. But a lot of people have passed on that opportunity. That's why I think it's so important that you guys, you have to make the decision for your family. You have to take the risk. What's that guy's name? I have him. Here you go. I'm going to tell you this guy's name real quick. He's on my Instagram. If you go to my Instagram, this is such a, I want to play this for you. It only takes Ed Millette. It only takes a second. You guys may not be able to see the video, but I think it's very crucial you guys hear this video right here because it rings everything in what I'm trying to tell you guys right now. Where's it at? Right here. Here it is. I want to play this loud. You may not be able to hear it that well. Yeah, I definitely don't think you'll be able to see it, but this is very important. Hold on.
When you meet a family that's rich, let me tell you what I've realized. In every family, when you meet a family that's rich, somewhere back in their lineage, they weren't. Oh, you ever meet a happy family, like joyous and peaceful? Somewhere back in their lineage, they were not. So what happened to that family? Let me tell you what happened to that family. The one shows up. The power of one person in one family can change it forever. In my family, I'm the one. My dad set the stage by getting sober, but I'm the one. My nieces and nephews think differently than I thought as a little boy. We're a happy family. We're a giving family. We make memories. We're not perfect. We have our ups and downs, and we're a damn rich family. We never were before. I'm the one that took the shots, the rejection, the late nights, the early mornings, the people screwing me, talking bad about me, all the worries, all the fears. I'm the one on the lonely road. If you're feeling something right now, you're the one. You are the one for your family.
So I posted that on my Instagram, and I tell people all the time, if you're feeling some kind of way, and I had a good talk with a good buddy of mine, I think he's on this call right now. He called me and 30 minutes before this call. I'm not going to say his name. He's a good friend of mine from Tampa. He knows he's on here. He knows who he is. And he was feeling a certain type of way. And I just had to re-encourage him. Listen, we are pioneers. We're doing something that's never been done. Are we going to have bumps and bruises? Are we going to have setbacks? Yes. But when people like call me, like not freaking out, but like, hey, when's this going to happen? Hey, I've been here a couple months. Hey, I've been here for a year. Guys, I sit back and say, when it happens, it happens. I'm just on cruise control. I'm just in my lane. I've already been down this road. I've been here for 8 years doing this, and I'm still just cruising. Let me tell you a story I learned a long time ago. I heard this motivational speaker speaking on stage. I'm all about self-development. He's on stage and he says, listen, if you're in your lane and you're going 150 miles an hour and a bug hits your windshield, are you going to pull over on the side of the road and say, oh my God, I can't believe it. A bug hit my windshield. Oh my God, what am I going to do? Oh my God. You start freaking out. A bug, I can't believe this. No, you're going to turn on the windshield wipers. You're going to keep going. You know where you're going. You know your destination. You know what you're destined for. You're going to keep going. Guys, we are building something that's so special here. It's never been done. Are we going to have setbacks, delays? Yes. These companies are debt-free. They don't have any debt. I want you to hear that. We don't sell nodes to pay for debt or pay for development. We already have that free and clear. We have over $1 billion in our infrastructure free and clear. That's not why we sell nodes. You want to know why we sell nodes? Most of you don't know this. I'm going to explain this to you. What happens if 5 people own Bitcoin right now? It's not worth, excuse my language, it's not worth shit. It's not. 5 people own it. It's not decentralized. When millions of people own crypto, it's, you know, and it's on the blockchain, it's decentralized. Then the value is in the community, right? That's where the value is. The reason we're out there, because a lot of people are like, well, if you're selling so many nodes, or if you guys are doing so well, why you need my money for your nodes? I don't need your money. I didn't solicit you. I don't need that. You called me asking me about these projects. The only reason we sell nodes is for the distribution grows. We want the distribution getting. The bigger the distribution, the more valuable it is for all of us, the more we all grow. That's very important for you guys to understand. If 5 people own nodes, it wouldn't be worth anything. We need everybody. We need distribution around the world, just like a network. If there was 5 computers linked together, we wouldn't have the internet. The internet is only so powerful because, and I want to show you one more clip real quick. I want to show you this because back in 1993, do you guys remember 1993? People were afraid to get on the internet. They were afraid. I'm going to show you one little video real quick. And they were afraid to get on the internet because they're like, man, I don't understand this. That's a lot of people right this second. They don't understand blockchain. But I'm going to tell you, and I've told you guys this before, if you go on Google and you type in blockchain FedEx, blockchain Mercedes-Benz, blockchain Walmart, blockchain anything, you're going to see how long these companies have already been using blockchain. It is the future. I was very fortunate to kind of see that and know that I wanted to lock arms with somebody out there that, where is this at? I want to show you to it. Really good video here. Let me look for it. Hold tight. I promise I won't keep you. Let me look for it one more time. All right. And right around here. Did I delete it on accident? All right. I may have deleted it. All right. You guys you got off that one. Real quick. How many of you guys, if any, do you guys know anybody in Amsterdam? I have an event I'm speaking at here in Vegas. I can't make it to Amsterdam. We are taking all of our leaders to Amsterdam Friday the 17th and through the 18th. We're going to do a big meeting up there. If you guys have any leaders or people you know in Amsterdam that might be interested, get with me. I'll give you the flyer. It shows the hotel. It shows everything. I've got 2 speaking engagements here in Vegas, closed meetings. I'm a guest speaker on that I'm doing. I don't know if you guys ever heard of a guy named DeMont Coleman, who is just a freaking legend in this industry, asked me to be a guest speaker at one of his events coming up as well. But this event in Amsterdam, if you guys have anybody, I'll get you guys the flyer. All of our leaders are going to fly up there. We're really going to start hitting some places. I know a lot of you guys, even in this chat today, you've been asking me, when is the event in Vegas? When is the event in Vegas? And I'll tell you guys, I'm trying to narrow down the dates as we speak. Our partners have been going back and forth asking me this, and then certain people can make it, certain people can't. And, you know, it's been kind of a nuts, but right now we're looking at tentatively the 30th of May, I think is when we're going to do it. As soon as I have that, I know a lot of you guys are coming into town. You want to meet Wright and some of these other guys. They're all flying into town. I would get you that information. We've got to lock it down in the next 5 days. My guys that own Poker Go, World Series Poker. Here's something a lot of you guys probably don't know. When I don't know, I put this deal together probably about 3 years ago. The guys that own World Series Poker, any of you guys poker fans? I'm not a poker player. I don't gamble, but a lot of people are poker fans. World Series Poker, Poker Go owns World Series Poker. They're the biggest poker content provider in the world. Guess what they own? Software nodes through me. And Switch, our platform, is going to be one of the main sponsors for the next couple of years. So we already have the contracts done. If you guys don't know that, that's something we put together. Me and Brad put together about a year ago, but they had another contract in front of it. So you're about to see Switch all over the place. If you have any Switch nodes, that's going to be really, really exciting for you. And we, in return, get to use their studio right here. This is Aria across the street where I live. At the bottom of Aria, there's a big sign that says Poker Go right there on Las Vegas Boulevard. That's where they film World Series of Poker. That's where we're going to be doing the event at when we have it here in Vegas here coming up. So we will be hosting it there. All right. Brian, tell me if there's any, I'm going to look for this real quick, but tell me if there's any.
One thing I wanted to share too, guys, is right now till May 2nd, there's buy 5 nodes of one brand, and then you get one free. Okay. There's also buy 5 with this as well, and you get a free hosting, right? Is that correct, Ryan? Like, you know this part probably like the back of your hand.
I do. Yeah, it's just real simple to think about it. If you buy any 5 nodes, any combination of any of the projects, as long as you do it all in one transaction, then you would get 1 year free hosting through Block Fabric. Well, Billy, that's it. You have to buy 10 to get 2 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
but they
Billy,
have to
that's
buy
correct.
the same brand. They have to buy all 5 the same brand.
No, they do not. No, they
do
do not.
They changed it? Okay, good.
The only thing that gives them
There it
more
is.
value is if they buy the same brand, then they get a free node in that brand. If they buy 5 of a combination, they can still get the free hosting. They just don't get a free node. That's the difference.
Perfect. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
And
So
another,
that's the important thing is if you buy 5 in one, you're going to get 6 plus free hosting. If you buy 5 combined, you're just going to get the free hosting. And by the way, since credit cards cannot process more than 10,000, they will not penalize you. So if you can only buy, say, 2 nodes or 3 nodes at a time because you can only process 10,000 on your credit card, as long as the transactions are within 48 hours, they will combine them so that you get the free hosting or the free node. Does that make sense if you're using your credit card? They just sent an email out about that today.
So another thing too, I did not know that Rev had an affiliate side to it until earlier kind of today, which is pretty interesting because obviously that's going to bring way more awareness for that node. And a lot of people are going to want that. The drivers are going to want that referral system because obviously they know a ton of drivers, riders. If you're in a big city and you drive all the time, like, hey, do you want to make 20-30% more on what you're doing right now, doing the same thing? How are they going to say?
And earning rewards on top of that.
And earning rewards. So,
and every one of you guys should get with whoever. If Brian set you guys up, you need to get Brian's referral link, get set up, because the more people that's on the network, whether you're a driver or not, you need to sign up for the referral side of things. So Brian, get that out to your whole team. Obviously, I got Demetrius his, and I think he gave you yours today. So we have that now. You want to be on the network. So I know that I'm helping Rev get set up in Vegas. So if any guys are in Vegas, I'm helping them get set up. Matter of fact, it was really cool. One of my really good buddies, good friends. He's one of the biggest attorneys in Vegas. He's on every billboard, on every TV commercial. I think he's on here right now. And he actually owns like 20 or 30 Rev nodes. So hopefully he'll help us get all that stuff set up that we need left over there. But we've got some really cool people coming on board. Brian, see if there's any more questions real quick. No, we'll shut it.
Some people are asking like, when are there going to be daily, weekly Rev calls? Because I don't know that the business side calls of that.
Yep.
All I know is we try to bring on different CEOs of different brands that we have with behind me right here. You see in this circle.
Yep.
And go from there. So I did not know that it was going to be like a business overview for like, get a link and join and let's promote Rev. But honestly, wow.
What he was trying to do, we're not business promoting the Rev side. What we're letting people know is you can actually participate in that. The reason I buy the nodes is I know how big the project's going to be.
That's
and
huge.
then the other side of it, I got my referral link so I can help spread the word. And the more drivers that are driving, the more people riding on it, the bigger the network. Therefore, the more the rewards hopefully will be. So that's the whole point of that.
Billy, is all of the brands kind of have a referral link system to them?
No,
I know Switch does. When
very little. No. Yeah, no. These are very few that actually do it like that. But that one does. Yeah.
Okay. Because that kind of took me off guard. But I would like it. I like it though. I'm like, wow.
Yeah, Most of them do not, because they're just regular companies, right? They're regular companies and they don't do that. Some of them are set up that way to really kind of help them go viral a lot quicker. I know that we've got the other Paul that he's a big YouTuber. He was with us in Kauai a week and a half ago, and I spoke to him twice earlier today. He's got, I don't know, a couple million followers on YouTube and everything else. And he made his name in the pool sector, but now he's really pushing this. I just talked to a good friend of mine who's supposed to be on here, who's a big note owner. He lives here in Vegas. He's I got him involved. He owns a platform with influencers. Now they've got a couple thousand influencers where they could push a button and it goes out to literally hundreds of millions of people in a snap. He is a note owner through me, and we're going to push a lot of this stuff through them as well. So there's a lot of really cool people that are part of this that you guys may or may not know of. Like Brian said at the beginning, I've got professional athletes, I've got entertainers, sports guys, ESPN commentators, guys that run casinos, all directly that I personally sponsored over the last couple of years in this platform. It's that special. You know, if you believe in something 100%, you want your friends and family. I'll close with this last story. This is the last story, and then we'll close out. I had a couple guys that flew in from Miami yesterday. They came to my building here, and we met downstairs. And I said, well, listen, let me tell you why I'm so passionate about spreading the word of doing what we're doing. When we launched Gala and I made all that money, the 10 million plus, I'm literally looking at $10.2 million in my account. I'm like, holy cow, I didn't grow up with money. The house I grew up in was a $13,000 house. I mean, I didn't come from money. I know that the car that my parents drove was probably $600 car. You know, I remember the first time I saw a Mercedes, like, man, they're rich. I wonder what they do. You know, I just don't come from that side. So when I made the money I made, millions of dollars, and I'm sitting here, I call my mom first, and I call my friends, like, let's go on vacation. Let's go somewhere. Nobody can afford to go anywhere. I'm broke. I got a job. I got this. I got that. And I was like, I'm not gonna, It got kind of lonely at the top. You know, you hear people all the time say, you know, when you've made XYZ amount of dollars, and I'm not trying to keep going back on that part, but you want your friends, you want your family to say, hey, it's a Tuesday. You know what? I'm going to jump on a flight tomorrow, first class. I'm going to fly down and see Brian and Dominican. Then I'm going to jump from there over to Cuba, which I was just in Cuba a couple of years ago. Then I'm going to go over here and see my brother in Costa Rica. He's on here right now tonight. And then I'm going to go here. As long as I have my laptop and my phone, I can travel anywhere in the world. And what's really cool, because I own these software nodes, not only is my Gala node still paying me $15,000 a month, and has been for 4 years after making me over 11.4 million bucks, give or take. After that, I only paid 11K for them. They're still paying me 15 million. Now I've got the grow nodes are paying me almost that per day, not to mention the switch, which I got 3 times that many switch nodes, so on and so forth. But after you get in here, you just kind of build as you go. You take some earnings out, put them in your pocket. Now you're playing with monopoly money, if you will. But now you're investing a little bit more. Go take your family on vacation. Start living life. We're not promised till tomorrow. Don't sit there and hoard it. Use the tokens, use the rewards, and go treat yourself. All right, guys. We were way off. We're 10 minutes past. I try to keep it within the hour for everybody. Brian, is there any more questions that we can answer real quick?
That was great. Thanks for all the insight. We're going to do another Zoom on Thursday night, 9 o'clock. We don't know guest speakers on or whatever. We might have Billy, might not, never know. I'll talk with Ryan and see who we can get on. But
you tell me who you want, I can get them.
All
Obviously, all these guys are my buddies. So
I like that, you know, so we'll work on that. And but yeah, get back.
I'd love to have another big one like we had the other night where we packed on almost 400, and I'd love to have Kathy Roberts on.
Kathy's an easy one. Kathy's my mama bear. So that's no problem. If you guys want to promote that, just tell me the day and the time. You know, watch this. I'll give you guys a little quick surprise. Let's call Kathy. It's a little late where she's at, but let's see if she's not sleeping. We'll ask her together if she can jump on.
I love it.
The Zoom link for Thursday will be the same one.
She must have already turned off her phone for the night. She turns it off when she goes to bed.
And there is a Zoom going on right now. Actually, some other guys from the company are doing Zooms at 10 o'clock. So
Kathy's on bed. She
um,
goes to bed early, guys. But yeah, I'll get her on the call. No problem. I'll let you guys promote
Sweet.
that. And just so you guys don't know who Kathy is, Ryan was just talking about, Kathy was the COO of Discover Bank, Discover Card. She started with Sears Roebuck years back about when I was born, and I'm old. Don't you ever tell her I said that. So I think they started Discover Bank. I forget even what year now, in the late 70s, early 80s. And she had been with the company forever. She took that to a multi-billion-dollar company. And then Brad Wilden, who ran the 13th largest regional bank in the United States. They came with us, and I remember the first time I met them 4 years ago, and they said they were going to change the way banking is done. We're going to have the first live ever customer service on the blockchain, which is huge. You can order your crypto, be there the same day, which is huge. These things, I got so excited. I went out and bought like 300 nodes on this platform. And guys, yes, Ryan, that's a great idea. I'll get Kathy. That's no problem. We can get her and we'll put her on. When you saying this third, what day of the week is today?
Well, here's the thing, Billy. We do Thursday nights, Tuesday nights, and Sunday nights. So just ask her in the next, say, week or two, which Sunday, Tuesday, or Thursday works, and we'll just promote her on that date. We're fine, whichever one it needs to be for her.
Sunday or Thursday. Okay, perfect. And that's at what time?
9 p.m. Eastern, Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday. Every
Okay.
Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday, 9 p.m. Eastern.
All right. Well, we'll get that done. That's it. That's a layup. All right, guys. We don't want to keep you guys. I know some people are falling off. We've taken a little bit over an hour. I don't like to do that. I respect your time. I thank you guys so much for tuning in for us. And thank you, Ryan and Brian, obviously for co-hosting and allowing me to come on and share my story and bring some of these CEOs on. And we're excited for you guys. Remember, buy you a Rally node tonight. It's the last night, probably that it's going to be that price. Get you some. I've got plenty of them. The price is going to go. If you can't get it right now, go ahead, take care of what you got to take care of. And you may have to pay a little bit more, but these nodes are valuable. So thank you guys. I appreciate you guys. We'll talk to you guys again soon.
All right, buddy.
Thanks, Billy.
See you on
Thanks,
Thursday.
Brian.